Stop being so hard on yourself, brothers. That's the majority of our problems. We let our past decisions and choices define who we are when it's not the truth. Because it's levels to this. We all start at level 0 and then we work our way up. But between those levels, there comes lessons. And without the experience, you wouldn't know how to navigate through this world. Some of us let our ex-marriages, ex-spouses, baby mamas, and all this stuff out here in jobs and current positions define who we are as humans, when it's not the truth. It was just a lesson. You were gaining experience. You were gaining XP. That's all that was. It doesn't define who you are because of what you did 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. That doesn't define you. You were learning, and you will continue to learn until you figure out the lesson. It's numerous lessons out here that we go through every single day, and some of us got to keep going through it until we extract the lesson out of it. But you can't let your past mistakes define who you are as a human being, because that's when you become your worst enemy and not your best friend. That's the trick of the enemy. What you did 3 years ago is who you are. Your current position right now is who you are. Your life sucked. Your this and that. Like, that's the trick of the enemy. That's not who you are. We all have been through something detrimental in life. We all have committed some egregious act in this world. But the ones who overcome it don't let it define who they are. See, you have a choice to let it make you or break you, to let it break you down or build you up. You have a choice. It's all lessons. Now you know how to make better decisions. Now you know how to conduct yourself as a proper human being. Now you know how to choose people wisely based off their character and not what they say. It's lessons, bro. Life is beautiful. And it's also not a comparison game. See, we out here comparing ourselves to people who have more, bro, which is ridiculous. Nobody is better than anybody in this world. We're all at a certain level. And I mean that by saying we all can lose our life out of nowhere, whether we got money or whether we living in a shelter, sleeping in our cars. We're all at that level to where our life can be taken away. So nobody is more superior than anybody else. But some overcome the same detrimental position that you're in, and they made it better than what it is because they made better decisions. You know what I mean? If you don't connect with your higher self in this world, you will always be low. You have to create a world inside of the world, brothers. You can't live in this world physically. You got to be somewhere else mentally in order to navigate the world how you want it to navigate. Why? Because the universe only believes what you tell it. And whatever you tell the universe, you will receive in this 3D dimension. It's your truth. See, a lot of us believed in something that wasn't true. A lot of us believed something someone told us we were. A lot of us believed something somebody said we did. And we let that define us as who we are when it's not true. You will only be who you believe to be. You can't let your past define your character. You can't let your mishaps, your bad choices and decisions define who you are. Just to make better decisions. You got the experience now. Everything you went through in life was lessons. You got the experience. Every interaction that you have in this world isn't meant to be taken so personal. All you need to do is take the meat out of it and leave the bones. Take the meat and leave the bones and continue to move on with your life. Life is a funny thing. You can be at rock bottom this year. Next year, you can be on top. Why? Because you did the inside work. This is an inside job, brothers. It's 90% mental, whether you want to believe it or not. Because what goes on in your head will show. So you must create your own world. You must create your new beginning. Whether you're in the dumps of life or you're at the highest of the mountain, you must create your own reality and do the inside work. And stop comparing yourself to other people who have more. Because I'm telling you, everybody is stuck in their own bubble. Everybody is worried about their own individual life to care about what you got going on. If you level up and get rich, the person next to you don't care. If you rock bottom, poor, sleeping in your car, the person next to you don't care. It's an individual battle. We're all dealing with our own life situations. So we don't have time to focus on what the next person is doing with their life. We're only focused on what we're doing with our lives and what we got going on with our lives. But once you step outside of your life and you pay attention to somebody else and you start envying somebody, you're not working on yourself. You need to work on yourself, bro. You got the information that you need now. Don't let your past define you. Just make better decisions. Those failed marriages, those terrible jobs, those bad choices, all of it was lessons that we needed to gain experience from. Now we can make better decisions. So you can't be too hard on yourself, brothers. Navigate the world how you want it to navigate, but you must do the inside work. You know what I mean? If you don't connect with your higher self, brothers, and I mean this, if you don't connect with your higher self, I don't care what position you are in right now in life, you will always be low. You will always be low. Live in the spiritual realm, brothers, not the world. And make better decisions. I'll chop it up with y'all later, man.